sharing your expertise, you also wrote a book, right?
I did. Yeah.
I read it.
Ah.
Almost all of it.
You just picked out the good
yeah,
spots.
just the best part.
Yeah.
And you're talking about these 5 life forces, because it's not only about food, it's not only about hydration, it's also about moving, being active, it's about oxygenation, alkalization, and it's so many things that you should be aware of, basically.
Yeah, and the book really is not a guide to superfoods. It's really, I wanted to create a foundational, common sense book that if you exercise these things, you're gonna be basically 99% of your way towards optimal health. And those are things of not rocket science, but of common sense nutrition. Eat mostly plants and understand that certain plants are giving you micronutrients. They're giving you an array of diversity of vitamins and minerals. They're giving you an array of phytonutrients that are longevity producing, that are healing, and you don't have to think much about it. Eat a lot of, as we look around, the #1 plant that was first created was photosynthetic green plants, right?
So eat your greens.
Eat your greens. The convergence of that green material is cleansing and hydrating and activating, and so that diversity. And then you have things like the representation of that is the alkalizing effect that these plants have, and that is really curbing and calming down the acidity side of life, and that is stressful, that is running ourselves ragged, that is overconsumption of coffee and alcohol and too much meat and too much processed foods. That creates acidity in the body. And so the body, even from the skin as we're sitting here all the way to internally, the body's keeping a balance. What that balance is then representing is the environment, your external environment, your internal environment. As you keep your environment balanced, you defend it against other things that would normally come into an imbalanced world and proliferate or make their home, and that is bacteria, fungus, viruses, chronic disease. So what I wanted to start steering people in, understand the environment you're creating, because if a virus comes in to my environment and I've been taking care of myself, it can't survive, so it actually chooses as an entity to leave, which is a radically different concept of I catch something. I only catch something. I'm not running away and Purell gelling my life, because I've created a strong sense of balance in my body. So I get into a lot of that stuff. I also talk about the microbiome and how important that is for the conversion of nutrients and the delivery of strength of our immune system and the communicative effect that it has in the entirety of the body, and then the brain effect and the health of that, and intimately connected to dementia and Alzheimer's as well. And then, yes, movement, through the joy of it, through the necessity of it, letting the body feel strong and be strong and vibrant. And then I get into, of course, hydration, a little more deeply. And all of these things are foundational aspects. And then when you add on superfoods on top of your foundation, then it can be an accelerator, an enhancer to you taking control of yourself and steering your health to an optimal state.
Yeah. That sounds a lot, but it's super interesting. And you know what I would like now to do? Is just to go up in your yurt that you have made now, to just look in your stuff, and then to show us some of your supplements, some of your superfoods, just to
I'd love to show
see
you.
those.
Yeah? Let's do it.
Yeah? Okay. So this is your yurt.
Yeah, it's my temporary guest house yurt that I'll be living in.
Very nice.
But we have some of the. This is actually in the Rishi family. This is from a trip in Costa Rica. So
this is a mushroom.
Yeah, so this is another incredible. It's kind of the queen.
The queen of them.
Queen.
Chaga is the king and the Rishi is the queen.
So best to have both the king and the queen around.
Nice.
So then I have. Actually, I wonder. I think I have. So here's some chaga from Four Sigmatic.
Oh, yeah, so I tried this one. It's very nice.
The cool thing about what they're doing is that it's a dual extracted. So it's not just water, it's pulling out certain constituents. It's also alcohol extracted, which pulls out other constituents. So they're doing both. It's a dual extracted concentration of chaga. So all you have to do, heat your water, add it in.
You just add it. You can add it to your smoothies or anything, but not to your coffee. I guess.
You actually could add it to your coffee, but yeah. So, and then so then a few other things that I have here. Well, obviously, I formulated this.
Yeah. So you made all these formulas for
Beachbody.
Yeah, for Beachbody.
So I went out and. A lot of the work that I've done, I was able to kind of throw it mostly into this formula. So there's over 50 plants in here, and we obviously had to work to make it taste really well.
So, and it does, because I tried it.
Oh yeah, you like it?
Yeah, I really like it. Yeah, I tried the chocolate flavor.
So protein, enzymes, prebiotics, probiotics.
Everything plant-based.
Yeah. So that one's a staple, and then we have, of course, here's cacao. So we have 100% chocolate wafer, no sweet. So these are super good for the brain, phenylethylamine, good for the dopamine response and feel good molecules. Gotta love chocolate.
How many should you have this per day?
Minimum of 35. No, just kidding. No, so, I always say, cacao is great. If you can take it as dark as possible, then you're getting more.
And this is 100%.
This is 100%. 100%. No sweet, nothing else added, just bitter.
Yeah, I can taste.
Bitter,
no sweet. It's not sweet.
Bitter cacao, yeah.
But it's nice.
Yeah, I like it.
Very nice.
And then we talked about. I know this company pretty well, but this is chia seeds. So we talked a little bit about that, the healthy fats. Soluble and insoluble fiber, the fibers, really good, easy adaptation, and then of course, one of my faves. Yes, I think.
I mean, really, this nut is like, I don't know, magical.
Magic.
So you discovered this?
Yeah, I never think that I discovered necessarily. I think I helped rediscover it. And bring it out to the world, right? So this one is more micronutrient rich than any nut, and dare I say, probably tastes better than any nut.
It tastes amazing.
Yep.
It's like this mixture between a peanut and an almond.
Right.
It's much harder than a peanut, so it's hard as an almond.
Yep.
But the taste takes you a little bit to the peanut. Yeah. But it's really, really
without the allergies. It's not grown the same way.
Yeah.
We haven't found any historical allergies to it. But we can't run around and say that, because people have food sensitivities all the time that are beyond what we, could control. So, but it's an incredible nut. It's dedicated to helping the savannah or the Cerrado of Brazil.
So it's not only good for your health. I mean, the whole concept about it and behind it is the way you grow everything.
Exactly. It's a wild food. So we collect it. The indigenous people collect it. Yeah. It's going to help the biome that's being destroyed and helping to replant the trees again. So
super nice.
So these are some of the anchors. I don't have all of my. I probably had close to $10,000 in plants that burned in the fire that I collected and tested and all of that stuff, and scales in my little lab. So now I'm rebuilding my own superfood stash. But this again is food first, foundational stuff. Drink your water, eat food that if you can grow it. If you can get it from farmers, then do it. Take care of yourself, your stress levels, your sleep, and all that stuff. And then also eat your powerful superfoods, and
enjoy it.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
That's also really important.
That's the most important thing. And people think that I eat so strict. In fact, I eat abundantly because I'm exposed to some really amazing, some of the best foods in the world. Thanks.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for checking
Thank
out
you.
my superfood stash.
Thanks.
Yeah.